Plato's life and work. Plato was a philosopher, mathematician, and founder of the Academy in Athens, one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world. He was born in Athens, Greece, in 427 BCE, to an aristocratic family. His father, Ariston, was descended from the kings of Athens, and his mother, Paraxene, was related to the great Athenian statesman, Solon. Plato's childhood was marked by the Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. At the age of 20, he became a student of Socrates, a philosopher who had a profound influence on Plato's thinking. When Socrates was sentenced to death by the Athenian government, Plato became disillusioned with Athenian democracy and left Athens for several years. During this time, Plato traveled extensively throughout the Mediterranean, studying mathematics, philosophy, and science. He visited Italy, Sicily, Egypt, and Cyrene, where he met with philosophers and scientists and learned about their ideas. In 387 BCE, Plato returned to Athens and founded the Academy, which he presided over until he died in 347 BCE. The Academy was a center of learning and research that attracted students from all over the Mediterranean. Plato's teachings covered a wide range of subjects, including philosophy, mathematics, science, and politics. Plato's family background and children. Plato was born into an aristocratic family that traced its lineage back to the kings of Athens. His father, Ariston, was a descendant of the famous Athenian lawmaker, Solon, and his mother, Paraxene, was related to Solon as well. Plato's parents had two other children, Adeimantus and Glaucon, who would later play important roles in his philosophical dialogues. Plato himself never married or had any children, but he did have several close relationships with other men, including his mentor Socrates, and two of his students, Xenocrates and Dion. Plato believed that love and friendship between men were the highest form of human relationship and wrote extensively about the nature of these relationships in his dialogues. Inventions of Plato. Plato was a prolific writer, and his works cover a wide range of subjects, including philosophy, mathematics, science, and politics. Some of his most important inventions and contributions are discussed below. The theory of forms. One of Plato's most important contributions to philosophy is the theory of forms. According to this theory, there is a realm of eternal, unchanging forms or ideas, which exist separately from the material world. These forms are the true reality, and the material world is merely a shadow or imitation of them. Plato believed that the forms could be apprehended only by the mind, not by the senses. He used the allegory of the cave to illustrate this idea, in which prisoners in a cave mistake the shadows on the wall for reality until one of them escapes and sees the true forms. The Socratic method. Plato's mentor, Socrates, was famous for his method of questioning, in which he would ask a series of questions to help his interlocutor arrive at a deeper understanding of a subject. Plato developed and refined this method, which became known as the Socratic method. The Socratic method is still used today in classrooms and other settings to encourage critical thinking and help students arrive at their conclusions through a process of questioning and dialogue. The theory of knowledge. Plato was interested in knowledge and believed that true knowledge could be obtained only through reason and contemplation. He distinguished between knowledge and opinion, arguing that true knowledge was certain and eternal, while opinion was uncertain and subject to change. Plato's theory of knowledge has had a profound influence on Western philosophy. The Academy. Plato founded the Academy in Athens in 387 BCE, which is considered one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world. The Academy was a center for research and teaching, and it attracted students from all over the Mediterranean. Plato himself taught there and presided over the Academy until his death. The Academy was a significant innovation in education, and it provided a model for later universities and schools. It emphasized the study of philosophy, mathematics, and science and encouraged critical thinking and inquiry. The Republic. Plato's most famous work is The Republic, in which he discusses his ideas about justice, the nature of the soul, and the ideal society. In The Republic, Plato uses the form of dialogue to explore these ideas, and he presents a utopian vision of a society governed by philosopher kings. The Republic has been influential in Western philosophy and has been interpreted in many different ways. It has been read as a political treatise, a critique of democracy, and a work of moral philosophy. The Timaeus. The Timaeus is a dialogue in which Plato discusses his ideas about the nature of the universe and the role of the gods. In Timaeus, Plato presents a cosmology that is based on mathematical principles and argues that the universe is an ordered, rational, and harmonious whole. The Timaeus has been influential in both philosophy and science, and it has been studied by astronomers, physicists, and mathematicians for its insights into the nature of the universe. The Symposium. The Symposium is a dialogue in which Plato explores the nature of love and desire. In the Symposium, several characters give speeches about love, including Socrates, who argues that love is a desire for the beautiful and the good. The Symposium has been read as a work of moral philosophy and as a celebration of the beauty and complexity of human desire. It has been studied by scholars of gender and sexuality and has influenced literature, art, and music. Plato's contributions to philosophy and education are many, and they include the theory of forms, the Socratic method, the Academy, the Republic, the Timaeus, and the Symposium. His ideas have influenced Western thought for centuries, and they continue to be studied and debated today. Plato died in Athens in 347 BCE, at the age of 80 or 81. The exact cause of his death is not known, but it is believed that he died of natural causes. Plato's death is described in the dialogue Phaedo, which is one of his works. In the Phaedo, Socrates is depicted as giving a final lecture to his disciples before his execution. Socrates discusses his belief in the immortality of the soul and argues that death is not something to be feared. Plato's death was mourned by his students and colleagues, and he was remembered as one of the greatest philosophers of his time. His legacy has continued to influence philosophy, education, and culture for over 2 millennia.